Welcome to Twisted Metal Black, the best car combat game, and the first one I ever showed off on this channel. And back when I showed it off, I played through each level with a different character, and in order to have enough levels, I had to play through 3 of those levels on Twisted Metal Lost. So the characters that played through those levels didn't get any sort of showcase in their home game, Twisted Metal Black. Now, of those characters, most of them were served better by the other game, but one of them, way back here, was Warthog. And Warthog was terrible in Lost. In Black, he's much better, so let's give him a shot. And it's not my fault for underserving him, the game itself underserves him. He's one of only 2 characters that have no bio whatsoever. No character, really. Not even an opening cutscene. Although, all the bonus characters are missing opening cutscenes except for, Charlie Kane. So this is Cage. He's a murderer. He's been murdering for a dozen years. It's what he loves to do. But it makes him so terribly sad. Has there ever been a more sympathetic character in a video game? I highly doubt it. We need to cure his empathy problem. Make him a much better serial killer. And the only way to do that is to win Twisted Metal. For some reason. I guess Calypso's the only one who would actually feel sympathy for this sort of guy. Now, here is why we need to play through as Warthog in this game. The special, our fire hose. In Twisted Metal Lost, it goes straight forward over the heads of every single vehicle besides, like, Sweet Tooth and Manslaughter. But in Black, it's sort of like a cone. More of like a sort of narrow cylinder, really. But it covers a much wider area, and therefore can hit any vehicle in the game. It only lasts for a fairly short period of time, but if you get someone pinned down and get them with the entirety of the special, they will be left hurting. Not the sort of thing you can really rely on, but if you manage to get someone rammed right into a wall so they can't move, that is the perfect moment to take them out with that special. It is very, very thumper, if you're familiar with the rest of the Twisted Metal series. Basically, every game has to have a flamethrower special, and usually it is very strong, very awkward to use. So, of course, Warthog would have it, because this is the least Warthog character that's ever been called Warthog in Twisted Metal history. Yeah, for some reason, it is tank treads on a minivan with a flamethrower. Inexplicable. You just gotta deal with it. That's your lot. We are the fake Warthog. Mostly I try to just spray my fire hose wildly all over the place, just to apply fire damage to anyone who is in my vicinity. I don't really go for the damage property of the flamethrower, to my own detriment, because the damage is very, very high. I play a more defensive game when I am a Warthog, because defense is his greatest strength. Extremely, extremely high armor on this thing. Trying to use the freeze shot. I, of course, have to stop steering in order to use the energy moves. My most beloved feature of the entire Twisted Metal series is the way the energy moves require your full focus and briefly stop you in place, throw off your steering, making them extremely difficult to use. Absolutely baffling that it wasn't until Twisted Metal Lost in 2008 that they figured out that they could just put energy moves on the D-pad. Like, obviously they couldn't do that on the PS1 games, but after that point, it was really just tradition that was keeping our energy moves in such horribly inconvenient spaces and with such miserable inputs. It is really the worst thing about Twisted Metal Black. And it is a relatively minor thing, because Twisted Metal Black is a very, very good game. Like I said, the best car combat game. There's a case to be made for Twisted Metal 2. Not really anything else, though. And I'm quite fond of the entire Twisted Metal series. But this is the first one I played, so there's a bit of nostalgia in there. I am an embarrassing edgelord, so this game, right up my alley. It's the one David Jaffe took over, and he puts me to shame. So of course, I like that quite a bit. And it is really, really well designed. This first level is extremely easy. Probably could have had it done by now if I'd been playing a little better. There's a taste of how powerful our special can be if an enemy just decides not to move. Tank the whole thing. He's going for the health refill. No dice. The larger enemies definitely do take more damage. Tiny guys like Grim here, you're not going to do too much to them. And it helps that they are really, really fast. Therefore, much more capable of getting out of the way of our flamethrower. And Axel always has a special, so if you try to charge him and pin him down, he's just going to bounce you out of his way. That guy doesn't care about anything. Reticle is not going to be terribly useful. It's really going to be overkill on anything we happen to find. Well, we pretty much wasted it, which is fine by me. Mr. Grimm actually going for the scythe attack there. And Sweet Tooth wants to use a special. Perfect time to get him with the gas can. There we go. He gave up on the special, but gas can still got him. So, as we're winding things down here, I am going to show off on this very easy level something that I just learned about, like a few minutes ago even, in a game that I've been playing since the early 2000s. And that is basically a cheat code. But nonetheless, it is worth showing off. So, get our enemies behind us, we'll hold down all 4 shoulder buttons, press left, right, up, and fire 3 homing fireballs and a freeze attack. If you know what that is Minion Special. And when I did that, it used up my entire energy bar. And obviously that's not Minion Special from this game, which is why I never really cared about it before, because I didn't have very much familiarity with the rest of the Twisted Metal series until the last couple of years. But that is Minion Special from Twisted Metal 2, which was usable as an energy attack in that game. under similar circumstances. It used up the vast majority of your energy meter. It was much more useful in that game. It is actually balanced such that it is a very inefficient use of your energy bar. But it is an offensive use of your energy bar, which is mostly defensive in Twisted Metal Black. Now let's go to the Suburbs. My preferred second level anyway. And when I played through as Mr. Grimm, we went to the freeway. If we win this contest, Calypso promises to remove the part of me that makes me sad when I kill. Really just restating the obvious because this character is so absurdly shallow. All he cares about is killing. Shadow giving me a rough start here. But that's fine. What's our burger chain called? Benny's. Now that has to be a reference to Mr. Grimm's storyline. Which, if you're not familiar, spoilers, Mr. Grimm was in Vietnam, and he was captured and tortured, and the way he was tortured was he was forced to eat his friend and fellow soldier, and his friend was named Benny. So yeah, that's pretty funny. Good foreshadowing if you're playing this game as Mr. Grimm. Maybe this level is Mr. Grimm's tortured psyche. Not really though. That would have been really cool though if like all the characters' personal traumas had impacted the levels in some way. Maybe they do. Keep a real close eye out. But like I said, there are not enough levels for all of the characters, which is why I had to play through some of them on Twisted Metal Lost. So maybe multiple characters express their traumas in each level, or maybe there's just that one instance of that happening, and the rest of the game is all about Sweet Tooth, because that's the self-insert character of David Jaffe. We still have a lot of work to do here. Enemies are not dying. And we sorta are. Oh. Someone just wanted to take a whole bunch of damage. And we gotta kill Darkseid here. There we go. She was gonna cause me a lot more trouble. I didn't finish her off. There's the asylum. Stock sound of a woman screaming every time you enter. There's some stuff over here in the gas station for us. Nice health refill. There it is. And more signage that I never took a good look at. The laundromat, Oasis Spa, here at the Ridge Point Center. We got El Cucino, sure. Cecil T. Rutabaga. Checks cash because we care. And Circus Pizza. Delicious. Let's see, I've probably got a full retinue of specials that I should probably start burning off. Literally burning. And the enemies have crowded around, so I don't take too much damage. We use that. And start killing everybody. Yeah, this hilly area, it's hard to use homing stuff. And I'm out of turbo. So even Junkyard Dog can get away from me. Then he just decides to try and fight me. A lethal error. Because I'm the player. I have better AI than this 2001 video game. Who'd have thought? That's why it's 8 on 1 in every level. Except for a handful that are 7 on 1. Still not the most enemies to ever appear in a single level in Twisted Metal. That honor still goes to Amsterdam. Might be able to make it to a refill station. There are still a lot of enemies around. I have passed it. Missed my exit. Here we go. Ugh. Like I'm playing Twisted Metal 1 here. There we go. You do want to stick close to Shadow because the special affects the driver. So she will try to special you and blow herself up. Probably should not be tanking this much damage though. That was a little ridiculous. Especially because I didn't even get the kill. That should do it. No, she charged in a 90-degree angle. Homing didn't go off there. Come on. There we finally go. And I crushed her corpse. Just to be safe. She's never coming back. She's definitely coming back. Probably sooner than later. Sweet Tooth. Always a nightmare. I've said it before, the best reason to play Sweet Tooth is so that you don't have to fight Sweet Tooth. Yeah, we've used up all of our mercy bonuses somehow. Because I just ran over Sweet Tooth himself and did not receive a health refill. Almost. There's one power missile pickup on top of them all there. And for a character like me, it is somewhat difficult to get to. There's this guy hanging out in the mountains. Environmental attack's not going to do me much good over here. It is at the opposite end of this level. I thought that blue sign was a health refill. Health refills reappear very slowly. There are tons and tons of them, but you gotta wait a long time for them to come back after you grab one. There's one at a cross section somewhere in these streets. No. Not finding it. Maybe I imagined it. Or maybe the AI got it. Equally likely scenarios. I'm aware of one more. But first, I need to, I don't know, I guess try and hurt some people without getting hurt myself. Nope, didn't work. Look at Roadkill just staring at me. Oh, now the health refills respawn. Glorious. And they're coming at me hard with specials and skill-based pickups. I'll just run them over. What do I care? I'm a literal tank. Enemies are so absurdly hyper-aggressive in this game. It's beautiful. There are certainly other Twisted Metal games that are even more aggressive. Beyond the point of absurdity. I definitely saw a blue glow around here. But I couldn't find it. This is where we unlock Warthog. Luckily, I did not go down to that section. Up, but I fell off anyway. Now I might want to get out of here because this is where the environmental attack is. The enemies will use it against me. So the asylum has a health refill, unless the enemies grabbed it. The suburb area here also does, but it hasn't respawned yet. There's one. And slightly too late. I heard the sound of the missiles incoming, but they sounded too far away. Turned out not to be the case. We've got some badly injured enemies. Roadkill's not among them for some reason. Now he is. That was real quick. The sheer power of our special. Just gotta hope the enemy is excessively bold, and it'll kill him outright. I'm gonna have a hard time getting that health refill. Warthog may be the fastest of the very, very large vehicles, most of which are really, really slow. Warthog is surprisingly fast for how really large he is. Okay, one more down. Nearing the end of my health. Really gotta go and get any health refills that might be remaining. Might be too late, because I literally have no health bar at the moment. Got a magic pixel. I've never seen that before in Twisted Metal. There it is. Missed it again. Glorious. And Mr. Grimm is uninjured. That's gonna be a problem. But we'll save that problem for later. They're still hyper-aggressive. They know I'm in a tight spot. Okay, we got health refill over here. Nice secret one. The enemies can't get to. Oh, there was another one. And now I've missed my opportunity. Where is this guy? There we go. Now we've just got a mostly uninjured Mr. Grimm to take care of. Gonna need at least my turbo back if I'm gonna get anywhere with this. This level would probably benefit from a few more turbo pickups, because it's gigantic. And I only know of 3 or 4 of them. There's one over by the asylum. And I am about to die. Might be a health refill in the church. There is. But I didn't make it. Brutal. That was at least very good comedic timing for Mr. Grimm. So, now to fight fire with fire. Always good to be hyper-aggressive at the beginning of a match. Because then you know if it's worth continuing, based on whether or not you survive. Okay, nice reticle pickup. There should be a lot of targets for this thing. Surprised that didn't just kill her. Only did like 2/3 of her health. That did it. Got her in kill range. Now, Shadow did a lot of damage to me last time. Sweet Tooth just wants to spin around on my bumper and die. Happy to oblige. Well, we've got some breathing room. We'll open up this church. I always have a hard time getting into the church, which is bad when I need the health in a hurry. Roadkill's a good one to take out because he's always got his special ready to go, does tremendous amounts of damage, and he always gets a perfect charge on it because he's the AI. But he drove up a mountain. Lost track of him. Shadow's gonna try and harass me soon enough. What's this sign all about? Just a devil and a generically named bar. A bar named Bar. Almost max damage on that one. There's someone who wants to die. Almost. Come on, man. Make me look bad. There we go. Don't have enough missiles to take him out. But with some ramming damage, we can make this happen. Warthog is a little bit slidey. A tad hard to control. But I am coming from other Twisted Metal games, all of which have different control quirks. It is a weird series to go in and out of. Switch between, like the PS1 games, and then to this one. It's always going to throw you off, especially those freaking energy moves. Because they all have different inputs between games. I was going to give an example. I literally do not know the Twisted Metal 2 shield attack anymore, because I have rememorized the Twisted Metal Black shield attack. Right there. Right, down. Head for my last recharge before we get back into some one-on-one combat. Or 2-on-1. Just as well. Might get some collateral damage. Sticking real close to Shadow here. But I'm out of ammo. Okay. Do more rooftop platforming in a car combat game. Maybe this is where they got the idea for all those terrible minigames in Twisted Metal Head-On. Bring this thing down. I believe the secret is you gotta boost and jump this one. Looks like it. I thought there was a health refill over here. There's certainly a black cube, but I don't need that. Oh, there's a health refill. Back on the first roof. My memory failed me. Do I have an environmental attack? Because everyone's coming to meet me here. Of course I do not. Finish off Shadow. And maybe this guy? Called him Charlie Kane earlier. That's obviously Yellow Jacket. But he's always been driven by Charlie Kane. He just has a little help in this game. I went right over my skill-based pickup. Mr. Grimm, so evasive. Gonna have a real hard time with him. But if we can get rid of Roadkill, I'll be happy. There we go. We are rid of Roadkill, and I am happy. One enemy left, and I have 2 lives left. Almost had 3 lives left, but... now we just gotta deal with one little guy. Just a tiny motorcycle. This is where Warthog lives. But we're driving his Warthog, so obviously we've already unlocked him. Froze each other, because why not? Mr. Grimm not even trying to defend himself because he knows he's the last guy. Just get it over with. Same sort of AI routine he's always had in the classic series. So, last time we went to the highway loop, this time downtown. Showing off all the alternatives. I've had one woman under my floorboards for 9 months. When I killed her, I cried like an infant. Why do I care so much? Oh, this poor guy. Really gotta keep going for his sake. Do it for him. I don't know why they called him Cage, on top of all the other things that are baffling about this character. That's just kind of a nothing name. So this is my least favorite level in the entire game. And it's not that bad. It's merely fine. Not nearly as much graffiti and signage to see as there was in the last level. It's just a big city grid. I don't know why I've always felt that it was my least favorite level. I've had some very, very bad experiences here, where I would frequently get right near the end and get dead. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. Used most of my powerful weapons there. You don't want to die with a full inventory. That's usually all I really care about. Just cleaning out my weapon stash before I bite it. One down. Plenty more to go. Health values in general are very, very high in this game. This is one of the slowest Twisted Metal games, which makes it just a brutal endurance match. Every single level, you have to keep your full attention for just a super long time. Tons of time to make lots of mistakes. And when it's 7-on-1, your mistakes can cost you your entire life. Enemy mistakes don't matter nearly as much. War of attrition always benefits them. Darkseid using the T-slide maneuver, which is a way for the vehicle to get bonus damage. I have never properly pulled it off when I played as Darkseid. I've never mained Darkseid in any way, because Mr. Grimm is my favorite car, and Darkseid is like the opposite of Mr. Grimm. So the playstyle required is not generally to my liking. Darkseid is super fun in this game, though. So if I were looking to switch things up, that would definitely be a candidate. I would like to show off the environmental attack here. However, it's been so long since I played this level, I don't know where the hell it is. Like the pickup itself, I haven't been able to find it. So we probably won't get to see it here. Just a bit unfortunate. Maybe I'll stumble on it. Having a real hard time with the refill platforms. A real hard time. I'm actually shocked that one didn't work. They're very generous in this game, as they should be, but not generous enough. Everyone found me at the same time. But I was fully armed. They do love their war of attrition, though. They know they're the benefactors. Use our last refill already. Another close one. We did manage to break away from Shadow. I'd like to get rid of her, because she has been just pelting me with the ghost thing. And she won't be doing that no more. Until next level. We should try and get that missile pickup, but we didn't end up needing it. And Mr. Grimm again. Will he be our mortal foe throughout this entire run? Seems like it. Just gonna be me against Grimm at the end of every level. I'll try and depend on sheer numbers. Didn't like that very much. His special is, of course, very, very strong. But didn't save him in the end, because we have way too much armor. On to something important. Something which actually garners a cutscene. Those 3 crows were also visible at the opening cutscene if we had gotten one. They too were freed from the asylum when we were. And this is a generic quote. Like 5 of the characters in the game use this exact phrase when they're facing off against Minion. So, with this character, I like to use the Chaos method of breaking the shield, which is you collect 1,000,000 items, get yourself good and armed, then you find Minion, and you charge at him. You hit him with everything you got. And he returns fire. That one didn't go so great. I was gonna say didn't go so hot, but that would have been a lie. It went too damn hot. I need this thing back, Turbo. Turbo is, of course, very, very important here because it puts out the fire. I mean, it's all about fire because he's an upgraded version of Warthog. That much is consistent between games. Even this weird non-Warthog Warthog. Minion has to emulate him, but better. Not off to a great start. If we get the rear panel out of here, we've hit it. Okay. Yeah, he's taken 3 panels down, I believe. And the last one, I think, is the right panel. Which is not easy to hit, but it is manageable to hit. I am shocked that I am not hitting these health refills. It is getting to be a problem. Bullseye bonus. Does he still have a shield? I guess I could look at my rear view. He does not. Good. Wish I had more health. Don't think I'm gonna get it. That's not gonna work. Trying to charge up the reticle would be quite unwise. Yeah. Tried to fight him from afar. That didn't work. At least he doesn't try to freeze you in this game. Plays relatively clean in that he allows you to actually play for the entirety of the fight. Doesn't just take you out of it for at least a few seconds at a time. Which feel like an eternity in a game this intense. Bullseye bonus. Gonna need a lot more where that came from. Give him a taste of his own medicine. And back the hell off. I think there's at least one health refill around here. I see one over here. They're really hard to get one. But Minion should really just give up at this point. There we go. Burned him to death. You'd think he'd be more fireproof. No cutscene at all. Very anticlimactic, if we're being honest. But it does keep the game chugging along. Doctors want to know why I kill. I say, who gives a shvit why I do it? I want to know why it makes me so sad. Weird that this game can't swear. It can get really close, but it just will not allow itself to put that extra vowel in there. That would be just slightly too M-rated for this game. Would have gotten it censored in Europe, I bet. This game, of course, no loading screen dialogue and no cutscenes in the European version. One of the most really severe censorship instances I've ever seen. This is going horribly. Yeah, even if you shield the Brimstone special, the little guy still hurts you when he explodes. I said the fact that you could shield that special after it's been fired was a flaw with it back when I played as Brimstone all the way back in the LP, but it turns out it's not. As though I had any chance of winning anyway. Now Darkseid is stealing my health refills. At least we get one kill. But it's not nearly enough. This level's really hard. This is the hardest level in the game. At least for most characters. I'm just using this run for a little bit of practice. Because yeah, 1 life left, 7 enemies, and we haven't even parked the ship yet. Just try and get this over with as soon as we can. Get him with the Minion special. Just to show that off again. Yeah. For some reason, all the previous times I played this game, I didn't really have a problem with accidentally hitting the rear view. But nowadays, I hit that triangle button to bring up the rear view all the time. I just realized that it's usually because I play the game as like a twin stick thing and I don't use the face buttons at all. That was an option here in this game, and only in this game. But you can control your acceleration with the right analog stick and then do all your steering with the left. Really, you could do all of it with the left analog stick, but that would sort of trivialize the entire game from a control standpoint. Anyway, that's finally over with. It was just a practice round, didn't count. This is the only level that has a loading screen when you hit replay. At least I think it's the only level. Suburbs might have that as well, but it's such a gigantic level, it has to load again when you reset it. Even if you didn't get to any of the later sections. I'm gonna try and focus a little bit, because this is the hardest part of the entire game. Being in the cell block, trying to survive it. Once you get through this, the ship is a little easier. You can get a little bit of breathing room when you need it. Okay. And as soon as Spectre shows up, Ghost Missile. Right on my face. And after I'd used my shield, so I couldn't block it. At least we get some health refills. Ground floor is just carpeted with threats. And one of them came out to meet me. Okay. Not sure why that shot me upwards. And stuck me in the geometry. Okay, we're out of there. You don't see a lot of glitches here in Twisted Metal Black. It's a very clean, well-programmed game. But that was one. Very briefly stuck in a corner. Whoa. I did not realize that my health was that low. As to allow me to be killed by Outlaw's relatively weak special. Where's this guy? Oh, the other guys are starting to show up. No, they're not. I just didn't realize that Crazy 8 was on board. Hey, one down at least. Crazy 8 is one of the least threatening opponents in the entire game, but he still has access to all your basic missiles. So he's still a threat. Ugh, I didn't even have time to do the shield there. Like I was pressing the buttons. And Sweet 2 Special does so much damage so quickly. Just didn't work. I don't even see Mr. Grimm here on the map. So I assume I'm fated to lose this one once again. And respawn and then fight Mr. Grimm as the final enemy. But we'll give it a fair shot. Won't be so defeatist. Radical pickup might actually be useful this time. But of course, we gotta take it easy, get some health refills first. The best ones are on top of the building here. But since this guy's coming my way, it's happening again. Way too many missiles, way too fast. So now is the perfect time to use the recharge instead of the health refills I was planning on grabbing. Axel, of course, one of the worst enemies to try and scrap with. Scrapping is what I do best. I didn't realize the blimp attack was based on the location of the blimp. I kind of figured it would just cover the entire roof. But because the blimp had drifted off to the other side, it missed everybody. So now we gotta grind some health refills as Axel harasses me. Testing out something here. Trying to see if the special on Warthog can be rear fired. It would not make sense if it was able to be rear fired. But neither would Darkside special. And it certainly can. Axel's AI is so irritating. At least he's dead. Now if I can make it to the health refill, we will have a small chance of victory. And if not, we won't. I will have to open up the bridge. That drawbridge up ahead. For some reason, we have to manually close it down so that we can cross it. They don't just do that automatically after they let the ship pass. But shoot that down. That'll open up. It'll take a very long time, but it'll give us access to more health refills, which we are clearly going to need. One more down. 3 remaining. Two remaining. They are ganging up. They love to do that. Strength in numbers. Ugh, I just stopped in my tracks to try and get that thing to hit me while I had my shield up. It did not work. Damn you, Ghost Missile. Utterly useless for the player. Super irritating for the AI. Just like Axel as a character is one of the worst campaigns you can play through. And yet, when the AI has him, he's so irritating. Because he has infinite specials. We don't have infinite specials. Okay. Here's the cavalry of 2. And now it's going to be one-on-one. On the bright side, Spectre's special will not be very useful while she's running for her life. Coming my way. There we go. Very satisfying. On to, we did Snowy Roads last time, so the drive-in movie. The harder one of the 2. Usually. And yeah, another generic quote from him. He briefly loses his one-track mind and actually focuses on the game for a couple seconds. Max damage satellite. Feels good. This is the easiest level to get a max damage satellite, though, because it's very small. And there's no recharge station. Also the easiest place to get a bank shot bonus, which I just did with my ricochet. I actually now use the brake pretty often to get really, really sharp turns going. I never used to do that when I played Twisted Metal Black, but because I played through all the other games so much now, that is a strategy worth employing, since I've more or less mastered it. It is getting dangerous out there. And I switched my skill-based pickup right in the middle of trying to fire it. That was unfortunate. Okay, did not expect that power missile to hit. So we got 1 of 8 enemies down. That's absurd. Everybody's pretty beat up though, except Brimstone, and I think Mr. Grimm is entirely uninjured. And Manslaughter is too. Yeesh. Manslaughter has the most HP of any vehicle. So that is going to take a while to whittle him down. Just going to have to keep getting the pickups. Hope for the best. How? AI might be a little too good with the satellite attack. Because they can keep it, you know, active while waiting for your shield to end if you try to shield it. I've been hit by a lot of very powerful satellite attacks this run. That guy's still taking all the damage in the world. Barely even flinching. Got any health refills back here? Certainly not. Why would we? Now, 7 enemies, and 1 life left. And I have wasted some HP by doing some fancy flips. I don't know who I hit, but I hit him for a lot of damage. And we got a roadkill that is untouched still. Someone died. So much was happening that the text that tells you what's going on sort of overflowed. Missed one of the pop-up boxes. Tell me who died. You there. Die already. Oh my god, okay, I thought he was going to dodge that. I would have been pissed. So, Roadkill is going to be the final enemy, because he's untouched. Health refill, much needed. And just the one. Ah. She froze me, so I could not drop the gas can at the proper time. And there we go. The inevitable conclusion. At least this level's super fast. Even when you do have to retry it, and you probably will. You won't spend too much time. So it feels good. Not too terribly frustrating, unless I get stuck here for a while. Snowy Roads, alternatively, you can just sort of cheese that one, because the environmental attack is so powerful in that level as to be absurd. In that it covers a full third of the level. No environmental attack here. No health refill, no nothing. Just a snack shack. Can't be quite this aggressive. Not while I don't have enough weapons. And I think all the health refills are gone. They most assuredly are. So I'm just going to sort of fire things randomly and hope that the homing picks up. Yeah, of course. Shadow is going to make this real difficult. She doesn't seem to be hitting any of the other AI somehow. Just a sniper with that thing. There are 2 health refills back by the bridge. One of them is gone because the AI got it. Glorious. So now we get to see how difficult this level was to record back in the day. It took several tries. Because I insisted on playing through it with Spectre. Not a good character in the best of circumstances. Certainly not for this level. That was interesting. I fired the satellite while I was touching Crazy 8 there, and he immediately exploded. You see that with a lot of the boss characters, but usually not with the enemy AI like that, because their vehicles are much smaller than the boss characters. Caught that power missile. He led that shot expertly, and everybody is in green health. All 6 of them. Must have been Darkseid that grabbed that health refill that I was going for, because she was in yellow health. She's back to yellow health. Yeah, Roadkill's got me with 2 fully powered specials. I am now the most injured person out here in this 6-on-1 fight. Oh, there's a health refill. God, no weapons at all. I think I managed to catch that ricochet just as it was ricocheting, dealing double damage to me. Yeah, Roadkill wants to do some more max damage specials, and he is certainly able. No health refills, no health. 6 enemies. What a mess. They won't even do me the dignity of killing me. There we go. Finally. This time, I'm certain we've got it. Fired that right over the fence, outside the level. Ooh, we did manage to get Brimstone Special onto Darkseid, softening her up a little bit. She's still got so much health that she didn't quite die, until we press the attack. And I did see Crazy 8 also attacking someone. Sheer random luck might actually get us through this one. The enemies are actually fighting one another on accident. Precious health. I actually thought I had the power missile equipped there. So I was trying to place the enemy in the crosshair of the power missile, which is different from all the other missiles. That's one of the coolest things about this game, and one of the things that make it much more difficult, is your weapons actually do fire from a specific spot on your vehicle, and that spot is different for each vehicle. So if you're firing a missile that doesn't have any type of homing, it's really hard to land it, because it will fire from a seemingly random spot on your vehicle. It is set in each case, but you gotta memorize where it is on your vehicle. For this car, the power missile is off to our left side. Very important to know that. Kind of want to keep Crazy 8 around. He's been dealing a lot of damage to the other enemies. Not you, though. You get the hell out of here, Manslaughter. His special would probably have actually hurt the enemies quite a bit, but he wasn't using it. So I had to get rid of him. Yeah, I was never going to get Mr. Grimm with a power missile. Zoomy missile, maybe. Warthog tends to kick up on the back of his treads way more often than other vehicles, which causes your missiles to just fire straight into the sky. Put on a beautiful fireworks show. Oh, I was just about to do my shield. Roadkill was waiting for me. That's what I meant to do. Just 5 enemies left. We got this. Look at that. So much fire. I was airborne for most of that. I just could not move. He stayed right on my heels. Awful nice of him. Granted, that's like the entire level is my heels. Perhaps they were trying to avoid me, and it was simply not possible. I do not trust Shadow still being alive. At least that's taken care of. The power missile feels like the slowest missile as well. It's not. All the missiles are actually quite slow in this game. But you really feel it with the power missile, because you gotta lead that shot expertly, due to the lack of homing. Brimstone trying to do a drive-by. Just barely got my shield off in time. It has saved me for several seconds. Yeah, I got rid of Brimstone, but for some reason my health plummeted in the process. With 3 enemies left, not looking too good. I don't even know where the third one is. Old roadkill. Hiding behind the screen or something. Yep, just hanging out just out of sight. And once again, doing the shield input, hit the last button right at the worst second, so it didn't count. Who do we got this time? Basically the same roundup. Would love to get roadkill out of here. Roadkill and Shadow have probably been doing the most to me in each of these attempts. Mr. Grimm, not too worried about him. Darkseid just insists on absorbing all of my shots. That's the only reason she's been dying so quickly each time. Ah. A little bit slower, and would have got her with the gas can. If she had been a little slower. That's always good to see. All right. Slight delay on switching weapons in this game, because it has to do that little animation where they pop out of your vehicle. Cost me getting an extra hit there. Ah. It froze me at the perfect time. I was going right for a health refill from the helicopter. It's like they knew. There's no way I'm getting a reticle off right now. They want me to try. Ah. Again, last second. This level is always the regrettable choice. Because if you're having a hard time with the snowy roads, just spam the environmental attack. Okay, another one down. Almost got manslaughter too. Something saved him. Oh my god. Roadkill is a nightmare right now. Okay. Someone died. Maybe that was roadkill. Certainly doesn't guarantee anything, but it makes my life a lot easier. I did like Brimstone's suicide bomber there. Bouncing off of my shield and ragdolling. Yeah, everything in this game is on a slight delay, which you get used to when you play it a lot. Just because attacks are generally pretty slow. Switching weapons, slightly slow. Lots and lots of tiny little things that add up when you're trying to do very precise things. So there's still a lot of HP between me and victory. And a lot of my HP just went out the window. Please die, Shadow. Thank you. Radical, I'm not going to get to use that, I don't think. Ugh. Okay, they did still hit him, at least. I don't remember ever seeing the entire screen here at the movie theater completely explode. That's interesting. That was briefly a health refill, but I always miss them. How is Grim still alive? Should have at least taken him down with me. Well, nothing to do but try again. There's really just no strategy that's going to work any better than what we've had so far. A little bit of luck and perseverance. I'm just getting really, really in the zone. Knowing when to have your power missile equipped and being able to land it. Also very important. You know what, Brimstone? Just freeze and die. That was rude. Manslaughter just coming in and taking my health refill. I was saving that. Got literally no weapons. Gotta do something to correct that. Just focus on getting some damage rather than the most possible damage. I suspect that Manslaughter is going for a health refill. Can't have that. Someone got my health refill once again, though. Okay, there he is. One more down. Can't be whiffing too many shots. Ammo acquisition has become quite a problem here. Who's behind me? Bad spot to be in. Ah. Instantly exploded. And respawned right in the center of like 3 or 4 guys. Just waiting for me. Is that roadkill again? He got me again. Baffling. Okay, we flipped Shadow over. Get dead. Finally. He hadn't been alive for very long, but I am counting his past lives against him. He has not died very often in these previous attempts. Oh hey. A whole party just waiting for me. I didn't get the pickup. Kinda need some pickups in order to do anything. Okay. Ooh, this might be useful. Yep. I thought I had fired it, but the slight delay between switching to a weapon and having it actually functional screwed me over again. That particular missile just really wanted Mr. Grimm out of here. And I agree with its priorities. Not getting the health refills to reappear. Sure would be nice if they did, though. There's one. Yeah, try and grab him right in front of me. Treat it like a carrot on a stick. Lots of guys behind me. Can't have that. They're all in the red. But so too am I. Yeah. Gruesome. That health refill would have saved me, but I missed it. Hey, I'm on TV. Starting to get motion sick from playing this level for so long. Just so small, you're constantly turning in so many different directions. Spraying the fire hose all over the place. Okay, roadkill's running away again. Kinda want to use our power missiles. They felt that this level ought to have so many power missile pickups, but it is so hard to use them here. But they are necessary. Not going to deal enough damage without them. Okay, no ammo or turbo. The projector's been destroyed. I'm off TV. Bah. What do we got for health? We've got roadkill for health. Providing a convenient health refill by murdering me every single time I see him. Now, every time I played this, I spotted the same enemies. So perhaps this time, there actually are just consistent enemy spawns, and I've never realized it before. Normally in this game, completely random enemies every time you play through each level. So either I'm getting weird luck, or this one is actually set. If it is, they made some pretty sadistic choices with what enemies you'd go up against. Roadkill is the one that they should have switched out for, I don't know, a second manslaughter. If they wanted anyone to ever get through this. Can't kill her without ammo. Also, health would be nice. There's one. Same one that killed me last time, when I didn't get it. I've got nothing with homing. Besides this reticle. Kind of a waste, but also kind of not a waste. Hey, another one down. But it's still 2-on-1. So I'm gonna need several health refills. And Mr. Grimm has all of his HP. That's not very much HP, but it is a lot more than none. Let's get some stuff with homing. Can't seem to hit Mr. Grimm without homing. And... ugh. I was trying to set off the shield, you're not gonna believe me, but... it is kind of a consistent problem. I think Mr. Grimm got a health refill, too. That's just rude. And here's a nice homing shot for him, as he sneaks behind me. Stays just slightly off the camera. Yep. Literally just out of sight. Okay. There we go. Now it's just me and this guy. He is not playing too terribly defensive. There we go. It's finally over. Thank you for cheering me on, sentient wiener. On to an also very difficult level. The skyscrapers. I once pushed a fat woman off a skyscraper. When she hit the ground, it was music to my heart. So it didn't make you cry. You had no empathy whatsoever for it. You were cured years ago. Why am I doing this? This is a level where we can at least run away if we need to. Not always the best strategy, but sometimes it is. I'm actually going to take the recharge here. Stock back up a little bit. Get ready to fight 8 guys. It's weird, this game will sometimes let you switch weapons while you're frozen, but sometimes it won't. Seems like when I'm bounced in the air while frozen, then I can switch weapons. When I'm on the ground, no dice. There's the health refill. You gotta go for it completely blind. Just know it's there by memory. This is obviously a very high skill cap game, but a lot of success comes down to memory. And that's honestly true of, like, most difficult video games. But it is very true here. You really just can't do anything in this game unless you know where every single pickup is located. At the very least, the vast majority of them. Back when I was first going through it in my original casual playthrough, my first few attempts at a level would just be exploration. No attempts at combat whatsoever. Just look around, see where the things are located, get a lay of the land, then make an actual attempt at winning. It wasn't until I'd completely beaten the game several times that I was able to just go through and play through an entire campaign, beginning to end, without stopping to reacquaint myself with how the level is laid out. Axel loves jousting. I don't. So let's see, I think a couple of people have jumped off the buildings. Music to my heart, some would say. Which is not a turn of phrase. But we're playing as a weird murder creep. He's not very familiar with the way people speak. Unless it's screaming. Nice helipad here. Seems to be long disused. Pretty much everything on these skyscrapers is in disrepair. I think the level is called Abandoned Skyscrapers, which, that tells a story that the rest of the game doesn't really tell. How on earth would numerous skyscrapers be completely abandoned like this? Yep. Accidentally hit the rear view. Axel just decided to stand in front of me. Finally, just take a death. Not put up a real fight. Shadow did the same. The AI is pretty generous this time. They're making up for the drive-through theater. Drive-in movie, I think it's called. What do we got? That was pretty effective, if I don't say so myself. And we got a health refill back. Recharge station's all used up. This one that is really hard to get is waiting for us. At this point, this level is just really, really sparse. There's barely even enough enemies for us. But we'll make do here at the Church of 9 Inch Nails. A helicopter taunting me with a health refill that I couldn't possibly get. Take a risk with that. Almost regret it. Really should not have done that. Out of turbo. Still looking for more health refills that aren't coming back. We have a lot of weapons. Don't want them all to go to waste. So we'll start firing them at the first person we see. Who wants to volunteer? Here's one. Nice straightaway here. And everyone's stacked up. They love to do that. Crazy 8 killed himself. That's why I was trying to keep him on the bridge. Because eventually, that wrecking ball was going to get him. And indeed it did. Okay. Nice. So, all that's left is Mr. Grimm. Or, yeah, that's Mr. Grimm. It looked like a car, but it turned out to be just that motorcycle, and I cannot get through this doorway. Mr. Grimm is avoiding us. Not sure to what end. He's not even going for the health refills. Surely he'll loop around at some point, come back our way. Because if not, he could just run away forever. He's much faster than me. So if he wants us to take literally all of eternity, that is his call. Okay. If he keeps looping around, he will end up on my rooftop sooner or later. There we go. He finally gave in to the inevitable. Only one obstacle left.
You're in violation of Midtown City Code 4432. Step out of your vehicle and surrender peacefully. Time's up.
Totally no reaction from Cage. Because he has no personality. The police haven't caught me in 12 years. I will not fail. I'm too close to my dream. Dream of feeling slightly less bad about murder. Because apparently the murder itself, just, he could do that forever. There's so many prolific serial killers here in Midtown City. You could just quite literally get away with murder. No one's even going to try to stop you. Not until you get to the rooftops here. Alright, I do want to get this tanker disabled at some point. Did it happen? No. Okay. And the tanker exploded. I'm not sure why. No, it didn't. Okay. There we finally go. One hit on that shield. Out of 3. Try and bring him back. He's in a great spot. 2 hits on the shield. Going pretty well. But he has gone over to the edge of the platform to try and lure me to my death. Sort of worked. But now he's hanging out over here. Helipad's over here. Okay, he's in the perfect spot. Now we just need some stuff that can actually hurt Warthog. Warthog has giant ricochet missiles. Or just ricochets, they're not really missiles. Oh, he tried to sweep us off of the roof. He'll do that. Just keep at him, use the shield whenever possible. This phase of the fight can be relatively easy. It's certainly easier if you have a good special for it. You do not. We can hypothetically hit Warthog with our special, but the placement would be very, very precise. Unreasonably precise. And our fire missiles don't feel like homing right now. They're working for Warthog here. Getting him pretty low. I really would prefer a satellite. Okay. Oh, he grabbed me. And dropped me, mercifully. But my health was too low for it to matter. Yeah, we might just whittle him all the way down with missiles. Yep, it ultimately worked. The slow way to do it. But we win. Ending time, the only cutscene Warthog has. Will it be worth it? We've seen it before.
I had won the contest. I went to Calypso and demanded my prize. I wanted him to remove the part of my brain that made me so sad whenever I took a human life. I wanted to become the best killer there ever was. Calypso went to work right away, and as a bonus, he didn't just operate on my head. He gave me a new pair of hands. They would become my trademark. When I killed, everyone would know it was me. Midtown was scared of that clown freak. I'll show them something they'll never forget.
Honestly, that is a decent ending. I think the acting brings it home, even though the content of the ending is really bad. Oh, gotta skip this. Licensed music and all. But yeah, Warthog, terrible character, excellent vehicle. I actually did quite enjoy playing as him. Definitely not worth getting all gold medals on the highest difficulty in the Twisted Metal remake, so as to unlock that vehicle again. But in its debut game, it is worth getting and worth playing as. I had fun with it. I had a nightmare of a time in the drive-thru movie, obviously. But doing that obviously made me so good that I was able to one-shot both of the really hard levels afterwards. A partial showcase of some kind of skills. one might argue. Thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you for another Twisted Metal Black playthrough. If you made it through this one, surely your endurance is to be admired.